Chosen one, they tried to break you. In front of everyone, they wanted you to fall, to humiliate you in the worst way possible. But guess what? Instead of crushing you, they exposed themselves. While they aimed to destroy your name, you stood tall, unshaken. This isn't just another story of hurt and betrayal. This is a deeper battle, one that's been orchestrated, planned, and executed with precision. It was never about hurting you quietly. They wanted to make a show of your pain. Humiliation was their weapon, and they thought it would break you. But chosen one, hear me clearly, you didn't crumble. You didn't give in. You didn't let their ritual turn you into the sacrifice they wanted. Instead, you saw through it. While they thought they had you cornered, you were observing. You were learning. You didn't fall for their lies. Your discernment saved you, and that's why you're still standing today. But don't just watch this video, engage. Share this message. Leave a comment below with the word untouchable to let the world know how many of us are rising from the ashes, stronger than ever. And if this message resonates with you, please consider supporting us with a super thanks. Your contribution helps us bring more light to those still trapped in these dark games of humiliation. Together, we can expose the truth. Together, we can share the power of discernment. Let's get this message out there, because no one is meant to walk alone in this journey. You are not just a viewer, you are a part of something much bigger. Stay with me, let's dive deeper. God's chosen ones, the ritual nearly destroyed you, but your discernment saved your life. They threw mud at you, chosen one, because your light made their darkness unbearable. It wasn't because you were dirty. It was because the brilliance of your spirit forced them to confront their own filth, something they desperately tried to keep hidden. You weren't just a target, you were a mirror to their darkness. And that mirror was something they couldn't bear to look at. They couldn't stand to see their lies exposed, so they tried to destroy the very reflection you gave of them. They threw dirt not because of your imperfections, but because the purity of your being showed them for who they truly were. It's important to understand this. Their actions were not a random choice. They weren't seeking to harm you just because you were different. No, they did it because your spirit was a threat to theirs. Your purity, your truth, your presence, these things were a reflection of something they could never attain. They couldn't stand to be in the same space as you, because wherever you walked, their shadows were made visible in a way they could no longer deny. Your essence made their games of manipulation, deceit, and false loyalty impossible to maintain. In a world where loyalty often hides behind a mask, you, chosen one, were a living, breathing truth. And that terrified them. Think about the story of Daniel in the Bible. He was a man of extraordinary faith, standing firm in his beliefs when the culture around him was designed to corrupt. When the king decreed that no one should pray to anyone but him, Daniel continued to pray to God 3 times a day, as was his custom. His unwavering devotion exposed the corruption of those around him, and instead of standing in awe of his faith, they tried to destroy him. Just as they plotted against Daniel, so too did they plot against you, hoping to erase your light, to discredit your truth, to silence your voice. But God's chosen ones can never be silenced. Daniel's discernment, his ability to see the truth beyond the lies, saved him from destruction, and so too does yours. The righteous man walks in his integrity, blessed are his children after him. Proverbs 20:7. Your integrity, chosen one, is the very thing they could not bear to see. Your steadfastness in truth is what makes you a target, but it also makes you untouchable. Those who attack you with lies and deceit are only revealing their own weakness in the process. What they didn't expect was your ability to see through their schemes. They thought they could break you by attacking your character, planting seeds of doubt in your mind. It wasn't about truth for them, it was about perception. They didn't want to confront you openly because they knew your light would expose them. Instead, they wanted to distort reality, to smear your name so thoroughly that you would begin to question yourself. They wanted to create confusion, to plant doubt in your heart. But here's the irony. Their attacks never made sense because they weren't rooted in truth. They were nothing more than a series of fabrications, carefully crafted to shake your confidence and make you believe that maybe you were the problem. Have you ever, in the midst of their lies, asked yourself, "Am I the one who did something wrong?" The question was never yours to answer. It was part of their strategy. They wanted you to doubt your strength, your purity, your discernment. They wanted to wear you down from the inside out until you believed their lies as truths. Yet, here's where the beauty of divine discernment comes into play. Your ability to see the truth beneath their words is what sets you apart. Like the sharp blade of a sword cutting through fog, your discernment revealed the lies they tried to bury you under. You didn't just react, you saw the game before it even started. Your discernment allowed you to witness their moves, their silent jabs, the half-hidden smiles that revealed more than they wanted to show. For the Lord gives wisdom, from his mouth comes knowledge and understanding. Proverbs 2-6. The wisdom you possess is a gift from God, a divine grace that allows you to see what others cannot. It's this wisdom that has kept you safe, that has allowed you to rise above their traps. It's a sacred gift, one that no enemy can ever take from you. This is where your power lies, chosen one. While they were busy plotting, you were decoding their intentions, understanding the patterns behind their actions. You recognized the subtle signs, the fake smiles, the compliments that felt more like criticisms, the silence that was louder than any accusation. And through it all, you stayed focused. You didn't let their noise distract you. You knew that your truth would eventually speak louder than their whispers. And when you realize this power, when you fully awaken to the strength of your divine discernment, humiliation loses its power. They can try to throw mud, they can attempt to ruin your reputation, but they cannot touch your essence. Like the artist whose masterpiece is attacked by critics who can only see flaws, their efforts to tarnish your image only serve to highlight the brilliance of your soul. Your purity became their downfall because they couldn't bear to be near something so clean, so true. Think about how a precious gemstone gleams under the light, untouched by dirt and smudges. The same way they tried to stain your soul, but you, chosen one, are that gem. They cannot tarnish what God has made pure. Your light shines, and no matter how much they try to cloud it, the truth will always emerge. Like the lotus that rises from the mud, your spirit remains untainted, and their dirt will eventually fall away. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Matthew 5:10. This verse reminds you, chosen one, that your suffering is not in vain. The persecution you face because of your righteousness is a mark of honor. You are aligned with the truth, and God sees every moment of it. Just as Jesus was persecuted, so too will you stand in the light of the truth, unshaken. But here's the most powerful truth of all. Their attacks were never about you. They were about what you represent. You were never just a person. You were a symbol of divine purity and truth in a world full of deceit. Your very existence revealed their fraud. This is why they targeted you, because you exposed the darkness they tried to hide. And now, as time passes, the truth is becoming clearer. The lies they spread no longer hold the weight they once did. Their actions are being scrutinized, and the cracks in their facade are beginning to show. People may not have seen it at first, but now they're starting to look at them differently. The nervous laughter, the guilty silences, the contradictions in their stories, all of it is starting to unravel. And while they try to smear your name, they only succeed in exposing their own filth. Now, chosen one, the question is not about what they tried to do to you, but about what you have become because of it. You survived their attacks, and in doing so, you've gained a power that they cannot understand. The more they tried to break you, the stronger you became. Your discernment made you unstoppable. As you reflect on your journey, ask yourself, what does their failure reveal about your strength? What does it say about your power to rise above their schemes and remain unshaken? The truth is, you are no longer the person they thought they could control. You are now fully aware of their games, and with that awareness comes a freedom they can never take from you. When you walk through life, you do so with a clarity that others envy. You've seen the game for what it is, and because of that, you can never be fooled by it again. The power of discernment, the divine gift that resides within you, has made you stronger than you ever thought possible. And you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. John 8:32. This truth, chosen one, is your freedom. It is what keeps you unbroken, what empowers you to walk away from lies, from deceit, and from those who would try to diminish your worth. And so, chosen one, stand tall. Your spirit is no longer threatened by the rituals of those who wish to break you. You are free. You have awakened to the truth, and in doing so, you have become unstoppable. They can try again, they can throw their mud, but every time they do, you will rise above it, shining brighter than before. This is your truth. You are not weak, you are pure, and purity is what they can never destroy. You see, chosen one, rejection wasn't rejection at all. It was the universe revealing to you the masks your enemies had been wearing. Those who turned away, those who abandoned you, they didn't do so because you were worthless. No, they rejected you because your value illuminated their emptiness, and that truth was too much for them to bear. Just like gold, when it's refined, you are placed in the fire of rejection. You were burned, but not destroyed. That pain wasn't the end of your story, it was the beginning of a purification process. Think about the biblical account of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men were thrown into a furnace for refusing to bow to idols, yet they didn't burn. Instead, the fire revealed the presence of God with them. The fire didn't harm them, it purified them, just as your rejection was never meant to destroy you, but to purify you. In the same way, those who rejected you, chosen one, unknowingly helped you step into your true calling, just as the flames helped purify the gold. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. Jeremiah 29:11. This promise, chosen one, is why you can trust the process. Rejection may have felt like a wound, but in reality, it was God's divine plan at work, preparing you for the future He's designed for you. The people who left you, the opportunities that slipped away, weren't the loss you thought they were. They were stepping stones, leading you closer to your purpose. Have you ever wondered if, perhaps, the loss you felt was simply a redirection toward your true path? Their departure wasn't a random occurrence. It was the universe's way of stripping away the layers of illusion, revealing the true nature of the connections you had. Think about it like a tree in the fall. As the leaves fall away, it might look barren, but underneath the surface, the roots are growing stronger, preparing for the next season. What appeared to be loss was, in fact, growth. You see, chosen one, the rejection wasn't just about the people around you. It was about the connections that were never meant to go with you to your next level. Imagine boarding a plane for a new journey. The flight attendants ask you to remove some of your excess baggage. At first, it feels harsh, but the truth is that the plane can't ascend with the extra weight. The universe was doing the same thing for you, forcing you to leave behind the dead weight that couldn't survive at the altitude where you're headed. Do you see now that the weight you were carrying wasn't yours to bear? Wasn't it necessary to let it go so you could fly? But He knows the way that I take. When He has tested me, I will come forth as gold. Job 23:10. Job, after enduring unimaginable hardship, came through the fire stronger, refined, purified. Just like Job, chosen one, the hardships you faced weren't meant to break you, they were meant to refine you. The rejection you've endured, the betrayal you felt, were all part of a divine purification process that revealed the strength inside you. The beauty of discernment lies in your ability to see through the illusion, to recognize what is real and what is false. And that's exactly what rejection does. It clears away the fog. You might have questioned yourself, chosen one, wondering if you gave too much, if you were wrong for offering love and loyalty. But the truth is, those who couldn't reciprocate weren't capable of holding what you gave. They were not wrong for walking away, but for never being able to hold the weight of your divine gifts. Now think of a forest fire, burning everything in its path. It's destructive, chaotic, and terrifying at first. But once the fire has passed, the soil is fertile, the ecosystem regenerates, and new life emerges. Your rejection, chosen one, was the fire that cleared out the dead wood from your life. What seemed like a devastating loss was, in truth, the beginning of something new. You were being prepared for a future you couldn't have reached with the baggage you were carrying. What if the fire you thought was burning you alive was actually making room for new life to grow? But the Lord is faithful. He will strengthen you and protect you from the evil one. 2 Thessalonians 3:3. In moments of rejection, you may have felt abandoned, but this verse reminds you that God was not only with you in those moments, but also using those moments to strengthen you. Every rejection, every painful moment of being pushed away was a protection, a redirection towards something better. And that's why your future is safer now than ever before. Now let's delve deeper into why it had to hurt so much. Why did it have to be so public, so messy, so loud? It was because the universe knew you would not have listened if it had come quietly. You would have made excuses for people, convinced yourself that things would get better, that you were just overthinking. You would have stayed loyal to ghosts, to people who no longer deserved your time and energy. The loudness, the messiness, it forced you to wake up. It forced you to face the truth. Think about a diamond. Before it becomes the precious stone you admire, it undergoes intense pressure beneath the Earth's surface. That pressure doesn't destroy the diamond, it shapes it into something precious. And this is what rejection has done for you, chosen one. The pressure, the weight of it all, hasn't destroyed you. It's only refined you into a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. Have you ever realized that it wasn't the pain that nearly broke you, but the clarity it gave you to move forward? The refining pot is for silver and the furnace for gold, but the Lord tests the hearts. Proverbs 17:3. This verse speaks to the testing process you've endured. What felt like the heat of a furnace was actually God's way of testing your heart, purifying your spirit, and ensuring that only what was pure remained. Now, as you stand on the other side of this process, you've gained clarity. You've seen the sickness in your circle, the cracks in your foundation, and the poison in the smiles you once trusted. And with that clarity comes a new sense of freedom. You're no longer burdened by people or things that can't handle your truth. Your future is brighter because it is now free from the distractions of the fake, the shallow, and the deceitful. So, chosen one, here's the key. Rejection wasn't the end of your story. It was the X-ray that revealed what needed to be removed so that you could thrive. The people who walked away didn't abandon you. They freed you from their performance. They were actors playing roles in your life. And now that the curtain has been pulled back, you can see them for who they truly were. And here's the last thing to remember. Rejection didn't break you. It broke the chains around you. Your vision is sharper, your spirit is stronger, and your discernment is unshakable. You were not rejected, you were redirected. And now, only the authentic can follow you. This is your truth, chosen one. The masks are gone, the fake people are gone, and now you walk with a clearer path ahead, ready to embrace the life God has truly prepared for you. They didn't want you gone. They wanted you gagged and broken inside. They knew killing your body would raise questions, so they tried killing your voice instead. Chosen one, let's tell the truth. Your enemies never wanted you dead. That would have been too obvious, too loud, too risky. What they wanted was worse. They wanted you alive, but muted. They wanted you breathing but doubting, walking but second-guessing, smiling on the outside while rotting on the inside. Their plan wasn't to bury you in the ground. It was to bury you inside your own head. Think about it. The most dangerous enemy isn't the one who attacks you with fists. It's the one who convinces you to silence yourself. That's what they were after. Your enemies knew that if they could sow seeds of doubt in your heart, they could control you. By making you question your own truth, your own worth, they could prevent you from stepping into your true power. Imagine this: a bird in a cage doesn't need to be killed to be defeated. It just needs to stop singing. And that was their plan for you. They didn't want you dead, they wanted you silenced. They wanted your spirit to be locked away in the cage of doubt, unable to sing the song of your destiny. But the Lord said to me, "Do not say, 'I am too young.' You must go to everyone I send you to and say whatever I command you." Jeremiah 1-7. Just like God's call to Jeremiah, they knew you had a voice, chosen one, and that voice would carry divine truth. They feared it because your voice, your words, your story had the power to free not only you but others around you. Their mission was to make you question whether your voice even mattered. But God's calling for you to speak cannot be silenced by their attempts. Their tactic was clever. They didn't need to defeat you physically. No, they used the silent weapon of manipulation. Every backhanded compliment, every joke with poison hidden behind it, every smile with a knife in it, these were all small cuts designed to numb you. They weren't attacking your body, they were attacking your mind. And they wanted you to question yourself. Am I being humble? You probably asked yourself. Or am I being erased? Isn't it striking, chosen one, how the enemy's most insidious weapon isn't physical pain, but the slow erosion of your identity? Their goal was to create confusion, to blur the lines between humility and suppression, to make you believe that lowering your voice, dimming your light, and staying small were acts of respect. But the truth was darker. You were being programmed to disappear. Their strategy was never about embarrassing you once and moving on. It was about rewriting your identity so you would never step into your power again. They wanted to make you doubt yourself so deeply that even your instincts would betray you. But here's where the story takes a turn. Their plan failed because your divine discernment awakened before it was too late. You know that gut feeling, the whisper that told you something wasn't right. That whisper, chosen one, was the lifeline God gave you. It was your intuition, that sacred gift, calling you back to your true self. You started noticing the subtle energy shifts, the fake smiles, the compliments that felt more like insults. Instead of reacting with anger, you became a keen observer. Have you noticed how the moment you began to trust your discernment, you saw things in people that were previously hidden? You stopped being reactive and started being strategic. You began to guard your spirit with purpose. No longer did you let the noise of their manipulation drown out your inner voice. You remembered who you were, the chosen one, the one with a divine calling. The plan they set for you to silence you, to distort your identity, backfired. You're not silenced, you're not numb, you are alive. And now you see everything. In this moment, you realize something profound. You didn't just survive their attacks, you woke up. You were no longer controlled by their whispers or their schemes. You became aware of their tactics and used that awareness to your advantage. It's like the way a lion senses the presence of a threat long before the threat even knows it's being watched. Your discernment, your heightened sense of awareness, became the shield that protected you from their schemes. And how many times, chosen one, have you looked at the people who once tried to make you doubt yourself, only to realize that you were never the problem? The problem was their inability to accept the light you carried, the truth you spoke, and the divine strength you embody. They tried to make you small, but instead, they revealed their own weakness. They underestimated your resilience. Just like the story of King David, who faced Goliath, your enemies saw you as small, but they didn't see what lay within you, God's strength, His wisdom, and His protection. The Lord is my light and my salvation, whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life, of whom shall I be afraid? Psalm 27:1. They thought they could weaken you, but what they didn't realize is that the more they tried to tear you down, the stronger your discernment became. Every cut, every whisper, every attempt to silence you only served to sharpen your spiritual awareness and your connection to God. As you stand now, chosen one, you are not broken, you are stronger than ever before. The silence they tried to impose on you, it was never your silence, it was theirs. The doubt they tried to instill in you, it was never yours, it was theirs. And now you stand in your truth, your voice, your power, unshaken by their efforts to diminish you. What would your life look like now, chosen one, if you fully embraced the power of your voice and the strength of your discernment? The path ahead of you is brighter than ever, because you no longer let their manipulations cloud your judgment. You have risen above their schemes and are walking the path that God has prepared for you. And now, the most important question: what will you do now that you see everything clearly? Your journey doesn't end here, it's only just begun. Your voice is no longer just a tool, it's a weapon. And with your discernment as your guide, there's no stopping you now. You are free. Your public humiliation triggered the alarm and exposed their secret network of control. They thought they were silencing you, but what they really did was hit the alarm that revealed their entire operation. Chosen one, let's not sugarcoat this. The moment they tried to humiliate you in public, they exposed more than their cruelty. They exposed the system behind them. Suddenly, people you barely knew had opinions. Strangers were looking at you sideways. Whispers came from every corner. Smirks passed across rooms, and silent stares followed you like shadows. At first, it felt insane. Why does everyone suddenly have something to say about me? You must have wondered. But then it clicked. Humiliation is never isolated. It always signals a hidden network. What you lived through wasn't just betrayal by one or two individuals. It was the unmasking of a cartel, an underground pact of gossip, manipulation, and silent loyalty to dysfunction. And the second you started moving differently, protecting your peace, questioning their fake rules, you set that cartel on fire. You became a threat. Not because you hurt them, but because you stopped letting them handle you like property. Think of it like this. Imagine rats in the dark. They look powerful until you turn the light on. The second the lights flipped, your awakening began. They scattered, screeching, exposing how many were hiding all along. Your humiliation wasn't a punishment. It was a spotlight that revealed who had been whispering, who had been feeding lies, and who had been pretending to be neutral while secretly enjoying your pain. The veil was lifted, and you could see the true faces of those around you. For nothing is hidden that will not be disclosed, and nothing is secret that will not become known. Luke 8:17. This verse speaks to the very essence of your experience. What was hidden in the darkness, the deceit, the manipulation, the false facades, was exposed when the light of your discernment shone through. They thought they were controlling the narrative, but in reality, they were setting the stage for their own exposure. And here's the truth they never want you to see. Coordination doesn't come from strength, it comes from fear. Why did so many suddenly unite against you? Because they feared your voice. They feared you might say something they couldn't bury. They feared you might pull the mask off the entire system. So, they scrambled to isolate you before you could expose them. But in trying to bury you, they buried themselves. You became their mirror, chosen one, and mirrors terrify liars. Whoever walks in integrity walks securely, but whoever takes crooked paths will be found out. Proverbs 10:9. You, chosen one, became the mirror that exposed the cracks in their foundation, the lies that held their system together. You didn't need to fight them directly. You simply had to stand in your truth. Your very presence, your very clarity, became the light that revealed their darkness. So, they used the ancient tool of humiliation to shift the attention away from their own filth. They hoped that by humiliating you, they would break you, keep you silent. But instead of destroying you, they revealed their cult of control. They showed everyone how they operated in the shadows, how they manipulated situations to keep you from rising. But you didn't just survive, you decoded it. And now, you know they were never individuals. They were a system. Have you ever stopped to wonder, chosen one, that the very thing they feared most, your voice, your clarity, your truth, was the key to unraveling their whole operation? It wasn't just about silencing you, it was about keeping everyone else in the dark. They feared your awareness, your ability to see through the illusion they so carefully crafted. Imagine how many other people around you are still caught in the system they tried to trap you in, still blind to the manipulation. But now, chosen one, you're awake. You've broken free from the chains they tried to place around your spirit. You've seen their deception, and more importantly, you've seen yourself, your true strength, your power, your light. And now you stand with the power of discernment in your hands, knowing that the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. John 1-5. The darkness they tried to surround you with, their lies, their control, their humiliation, has been exposed. And just like the light in this verse, your truth cannot be extinguished. It stands firm, unshaken. And now, the darkness around them will always be visible. What you've done, chosen one, without even trying, is unravel their carefully woven system of control. You cracked it open just by standing in your truth. Have you ever realized that your awareness alone, your decision to no longer allow their lies to define you, was enough to reveal the truth? The system they created was based on your silence, your doubts, your fear. But now, you've shattered that system. You've broken the chains they thought would hold you forever. And now, as you move forward, they are the ones who remain trapped in their own lies. They are the ones who must face the consequences of their manipulation. You've exposed them, not by attacking them, but by standing tall, by letting your light shine. So, chosen one, ask yourself, what will you do with this newfound awareness, this divine gift of discernment? Will you continue to let the light of truth shine through every corner of your life, exposing the darkness wherever it may be? Will you use your voice to heal, to guide, and to help others see the truth as you have? The world is waiting for you, chosen one. Now that you see everything, you can't go back. You've awakened to the truth, and that truth is your power. Discernment isn't just a gift, it's the weapon that saved your life. They mocked your suspicion, calling it paranoia, but it was the very radar that kept you alive, chosen one. Let's be clear. Discernment is not some soft personality trait that you wear like jewelry. It's not just a vibe, a feeling, or overthinking. For you, discernment has been sharpened into a weapon, a loaded tool always scanning the environment, analyzing the energy around you. It's the difference between stepping into a trap and walking away untouched. Most people treat their intuition like background noise. They notice it occasionally but brush it off. But not you, chosen one. You were never given the luxury of ignoring your instincts. Your betrayal didn't come from strangers. It came from those you trusted most, the people you thought were your family. You've been sabotaged, manipulated, and deceived by those who cloaked their malice in the guise of friendship and support. And because of that, you were forced to sharpen your discernment. Survival demanded it. Imagine a soldier walking through a minefield. Each step could be his last. That's how you learned to read the world around you. You didn't just feel when something was off. You learned to track the hesitation in voices, the tension in silences, the flicker in someone's eyes when their words didn't align with their spirit. You could read the room before the conversation even started. You weren't guessing. You were decoding every move, every glance, every word. And that's why you're still standing. Your escape wasn't luck. It was strategy. For the Lord gives wisdom. From his mouth comes knowledge and understanding. Proverbs 2-6. This verse encapsulates the divine wisdom you've been given, chosen one. This isn't ordinary intuition. It's the divine discernment that allows you to cut through the lies and see the truth, just as Solomon sought wisdom to rule his people with understanding. It's a gift that was given to you, not for trivial matters, but for the critical situations you've faced. They didn't understand your silence. They thought it was fear, but in reality, it was calculation. Your radar, finely tuned by years of betrayal, led you out of poisoned relationships, out of opportunities that were nothing more than golden cages, and out of rooms where your name was already on the altar, even before you stepped through the door. They were all playing a game, but you weren't just playing, you were calculating every move, reading every signal, and stepping through their world with a divine awareness that allowed you to avoid their traps. Have you ever thought about the moments when your silence spoke louder than words, chosen one? In those moments, when you held your peace, it wasn't about fear or submission, it was a strategic pause. You knew what they didn't, that sometimes walking away from the noise was your greatest strength. Your humiliation didn't break you, it confirmed your accuracy. Each time they laughed at you, each time they smeared your name, it only revealed that your spirit had already clocked them. You were right all along. You saw through the masks they wore, and as they tried to degrade you, they only revealed their own vulnerabilities. The more they tried to tear you down, the more they exposed their weaknesses. You connected the dots before the evidence even appeared. You knew what was coming without needing to be told. Isn't it striking, chosen one, how the very thing they tried to use against you, humiliation, became the evidence of your truth? They thought it would destroy you, but it only strengthened your resolve. It proved that your discernment, your divine gift, was functioning perfectly. Chosen ones don't guess. They don't second guess. They know. When you know something, there's no need to chase, to beg for validation, or to explain yourself. You simply move quietly, strategically, and fully alive. Your movements, your decisions, everything you do comes from a place of divine certainty, rooted in that gift of discernment. You've learned that the power of knowing isn't loud. It doesn't need to justify itself. It doesn't need to shout. It simply moves, like water carving through stone, unhurried but unstoppable. The discerning heart seeks knowledge, but the mouth of a fool feeds on folly. Proverbs 15:14. You, chosen one, have sought knowledge. And that knowledge, that discernment, is the weapon that has kept you alive, kept you standing, and will continue to protect you long after their games collapse. Your discernment isn't just awareness, it's your survival weapon. You've seen the traps they laid before you. You've stepped over them and around them while they watched, wondering how you slipped through their fingers. They thought they had you cornered, but what they didn't understand is that you were never the prey. You were always the one with the map, the one who saw their plan before it unfolded. What would your life look like now, chosen one, if you fully embraced the power of your discernment? How much could you achieve if you trusted this divine awareness within you even more? What could you build? Where could you go if you knew, without a doubt, that your intuition is a divine gift, a weapon that will always guide you? So, stand tall, chosen one. You are not here by accident. You are here because you were meant to be. Your divine discernment, your supernatural awareness has guided you through every trial. And with that weapon in hand, no one can stop you. Your enemies tried to break you, but they only revealed their own weaknesses. Now, your voice is louder than ever, and your discernment will keep saving you long after their games fall apart. They treated you like the enemy because you were living proof. Their illusions don't work. They didn't test you to know who you were. They tested you to prove to themselves that you couldn't be real. Chosen one, let's call it what it is. Their tests weren't out of curiosity, they were out of desperation. Fear dripped from every move they made. Fear of what you carried. Fear of how your presence exposed them without you even opening your mouth. Imagine a counterfeit bill sitting next to the real thing. The fake doesn't look so convincing anymore, does it? That's what you were, a walking authenticity check. Your mere existence, your alignment with truth, was enough to disturb their carefully crafted illusions. You didn't need to scream or shout to expose their lies. Your presence alone did that. Your life became living proof that healing is possible, that forgiveness doesn't mean revenge, and that someone can walk through the fire and still come out unburned in spirit. For those who built their lives on lies, fear, and control, your authenticity was not something to be embraced, it was something to be feared. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. John 8:32. You, chosen one, walked in that truth. You carried it with you, and the mere existence of your integrity challenged the very foundation of the system that kept them in control. Truth doesn't need to actively expose liars, its very existence exposes them. And that's why they tested you not to learn, but to discredit. They needed to convince themselves and everyone around them that your light couldn't possibly be real, that you were just another performance like theirs. But when the pressure came and you didn't crack, when you held your dignity while they stripped you of everything, they realized their worst nightmare. You were exactly who you appeared to be. The righteous man walks in his integrity, blessed are his children after him. Proverbs 20:7. This is the blessing you carry, an unwavering integrity that shines brighter than their masks. You became the mirror they never asked for. Your calmness highlighted their chaos. Your honesty exposed their manipulation. Your consistency revealed their masks. Have you ever stopped, chosen one, and realized that your consistency, your ability to stand firm, was the very thing that revealed their falseness? Every time you remained steady, every time you refused to bend, you showed the world that their falsehoods could not withstand the strength of your authenticity. And because they couldn't bend you, they branded you as too sensitive, too much, too deep. But here's the truth. Those labels weren't reflections of you. They were confessions of their own weakness, their inability to handle someone who couldn't be bought, controlled, or silenced. Imagine a storm hitting a house built on sand and another hitting a house built on rock. One collapses, the other stands firm. That's what happened when you faced their tests. Your spirit was the rock, unwavering and strong, while their entire identity was built on the sand of deception. When the storm came, your foundation held. Their fragile walls crumbled. And that's why they treated you like the enemy, chosen one, because you weren't just carrying the truth, you embodied it. The Lord is my light and my salvation, whom shall I fear? Psalm 27:1. They feared you not because of your power, but because your presence reflected the truth in a world addicted to fakery. In a world where people hide behind masks and illusions, someone who can't be bought, bent, or silenced becomes the biggest threat. Do you now see, chosen one, that your authenticity is a divine weapon? It was never about trying to prove yourself to them. It was about standing firm in who you truly are, a reflection of God's truth. And by simply existing, you became the biggest disruption to their carefully controlled world. Your authenticity forced them to confront their own masks, their own insecurities. In a world that seeks power through manipulation and deceit, you, chosen one, stand as a beacon of light, an unwavering symbol of truth, integrity, and divine strength. And here's the key: your truth cannot be erased. The lies they told will crumble over time, but your truth will remain. You've been tested, and where they hoped you would break, you became stronger. The storm they thought would destroy you only revealed your strength. Now, as you stand here, know that your divine gift of discernment is not just a shield, it is a weapon. It has guided you through the chaos, and it will continue to protect you as you move forward. The righteous will never be uprooted, but the wicked will not remain in the land. Proverbs 12:3. You are rooted, chosen one, and though the world around you may shift, your foundation will never be moved. You were made for this. You were born to stand in truth, to reflect the light of God's wisdom, and to shine in a world that desperately needs it. So now, chosen one, rise. You have faced their tests, endured their lies, and stood in the face of everything they threw at you, and still you stand. What will you do with this power? What will you do now that you know your strength, your truth, your divine calling? The world is waiting for you to step into it fully, without fear, without doubt. Your time is now. When their shadow games failed, they built a stage to turn you into a spectacle. They couldn't kill you in silence, so they built a circus to distract from their failure. Chosen One, this is how the game always plays out. At first, they came for you quietly, whispered sabotage, subtle traps, strategic mistakes designed to make you stumble without them ever getting caught. They wanted you to bleed out privately, doubting yourself until you self-destructed. But you didn't. You noticed. You adjusted. You kept showing up. And nothing rattles an enemy more than a target who refuses to collapse. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Psalm 23:4. This was your strength, Chosen One, the divine presence that walks with you through the darkest valleys. While they hoped to break you in silence, you stood tall. You refused to bend. And that refusal to crumble is what terrified them. What happens when poison doesn't kill its victim? The enemy panics. They start pouring it in louder doses, desperate for results. That's what they did to you. When their shadows failed, they dragged you into the spotlight. If silent sabotage couldn't break you, maybe public spectacle would. So they built a stage, slapped your name on it, and turned your life into their favorite gossip performance. They didn't want the truth. They wanted noise loud enough to drown your voice. They exaggerated your flaws, twisted your past, and dragged your name through conversations that had nothing to do with you. It wasn't about facts, it was about volume. They believed that if they shouted long enough, people would forget to ask questions. If they pointed at you long enough, maybe no one would notice the dirt on their own hands. But here's the irony, Chosen One. The circus they built to shame you ended up exposing them instead. Because obsession is hard to hide. When someone spends that much energy tearing down a person who isn't even fighting back, it reveals desperation. The crowd starts to wonder, why are they so fixated? Why can't they let it go? And slowly, the spotlight they tried to throw on you started reflecting back on them. This moment, their frantic attempts to destroy you became their undoing. The louder they screamed, the more their weakness was revealed. For nothing is hidden that will not be disclosed, and nothing is secret that will not be made known. Luke 8:17. The truth came to light because their obsession became too obvious. They couldn't hide it. They couldn't contain it. The spectacle they created, meant to silence you, only drew more attention to their own failures. Spectacle is the last move of the powerless. That's why you outlasted their circus. You didn't need to clap back. You didn't need to perform. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Exodus 14:14. The battle you faced wasn't yours to fight. It was the Lord's. And by standing firm, by not reacting to their noise, you allowed the truth to unfold without lifting a finger. You endured, and that endurance made their obsession with you glaringly obvious. Have you ever realized, Chosen One, that their attempts to break you were actually a reflection of their own fear? They had no power over you. They were terrified by your ability to withstand the storm they created. The more they pushed, the clearer it became that you were never the problem. You were proof they had lost control. Your life, your truth, your quiet strength in the face of their chaos became the weapon they never expected. They wanted to strip you of your dignity, your voice, your identity, but instead, they gave you the greatest weapon of all, awareness. You saw them for what they were: vulnerable, desperate, and willing to destroy anyone who stood in their way. And as they tried to turn the spotlight on you, they inadvertently put it on themselves. How many times, Chosen One, did you see them for who they really were when they tried to smear your name? Their attempts to weaken you only revealed how fragile their power was. Their obsession with controlling the narrative turned into their greatest weakness. You didn't need to fight back. You didn't need to explain yourself. You simply had to endure, and in doing so, you revealed the truth. And you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. John 8:32. Your endurance, your silent resilience, became the truth that shattered their lies. The more they tried to destroy you, the more they revealed their own darkness. And now, the world can see them for what they truly are. In this moment, Chosen One, What have you learned about the power of truth and endurance? How did the spotlight they built to destroy you actually reveal your strength, your integrity, and your resilience? When the world tries to make you a spectacle, your ability to remain grounded in your truth is the weapon that sets you free. The lesson here is simple. When the enemy cannot destroy you with poison, they will try to drown you with noise. But when you stand firm in your truth, when you refuse to be swayed by their distractions, you will outlast their games. The truth you carry will always expose the lies they hide behind. And now, chosen one, what will you do with this newfound power? The stage they set for your destruction is now the platform from which you will rise. You are no longer just surviving, you are thriving, and the truth of who you are will continue to shine, a light that no darkness can ever overcome. They tried to drown you in shame, but you learned to turn the ocean into your training ground. They wanted shame to be your coffin, but instead, it became your classroom. Chosen one, let's call it what it is. Their goal was never just embarrassment. Embarrassment fades away. What they truly wanted was suffocation. They wanted their words replaying in your head at 3 a.m., echoing louder than your own thoughts. Shame was their ritual, their weapon, their trap. Because shame doesn't need chains to bind you. It convinces you to chain yourself. And for a while, you might have felt the weight of it all. You might have questioned yourself, your worth, your place in this world. But that's where the true test lies. They wanted you to drown in their manufactured shame, but instead, you adapted. Yes, it was painful. Yes, it was slow. But something inside you refused to collapse. Something deep within you stirred and said, I will not drown. While they tried to push you into depths designed to crush you, you learned a different skill. You learned how to breathe underwater. You see, when most people are thrown into deep water, they thrash and sink. But not you, chosen one. You grew gills. You adapted to an environment that was meant to kill you. You learned to navigate the very darkness they hoped would destroy you. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. And when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. Isaiah 43:2. This promise is not just metaphorical for you, chosen one. It was a literal truth in your life. When they pushed you into the deep, God's hand was with you, guiding you, teaching you to thrive in the very environment designed to take you under. That's why you're still here. You didn't just survive the flood of shame, you learned to use it as a tool for your growth. Shame was supposed to silence you, to make you question your every move, to strip away your voice. But instead of silencing you, it sharpened you. You stopped arguing with people who needed you to play the villain. The wise store up knowledge, but the mouth of a fool invites ruin. Proverbs 10:14. You recognized gaslighting for what it was. You saw the twisted truths, the guilt trips, the setups. And in your silence, you leveled up. Your discernment became clearer. Your ability to recognize manipulation became sharper. You didn't need to argue. You simply observed, you adapted, and you learned. Have you ever realized, chosen one, that what was meant to break you actually built you up? Every insult they threw at you, every attempt to shame you, became data. Every trap they set for you became a map of their weakness. It wasn't just a test of endurance. It was a training ground for your spirit, your mind, and your discernment. Imagine a diver who spends years in the deepest waters. They face the pressure, the dark, the cold, and when they finally return to the surface, the storms of life no longer frighten them. That's you, chosen one. You spent years learning how to survive in environments that would crush others. You mastered the art of staying calm in the storm, reading the currents most people don't even notice. The tension in a smile, the shift in tone, the game before it even begins. You can feel it now, can't you? The shame that was meant to destroy you became the oxygen that sustains you. What would your life look like now, chosen one, if you embraced the truth that the very things that tried to destroy you are now the tools that propel you forward? You no longer fear the deep because you are the deep. You are no longer intimidated by the storms of life because you've learned to navigate them. and this terrifies those who once thought they had power over you. Now, you see things others cannot. You read the signs, the hidden messages in the silence, the subtle changes in behavior. You are a master of the currents, capable of moving through life's most turbulent waters with ease. You have been trained in pressure most people couldn't survive. While they continue to drown in their own manufactured chaos, you move with purpose, grounded in the truth that you are made to thrive, not just survive. You are not the same as you were before they tried to break you, chosen one. You are stronger, wiser, and far more powerful than they could ever have imagined. And here's the thing, they tried to drown you in shame, but instead they made you into a force of nature. You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Matthew 5:14. And that light, chosen one, will only grow brighter as you continue to walk in the truth that you have uncovered. The ocean of shame that they tried to drown you in, it has become your training ground. You've learned to move through it, to breathe in it, to use it to fuel your strength. And now you stand as proof that nothing they throw at you can ever keep you down. What will you do now, chosen one, now that you've learned to move through the deepest waters, now that you've been refined in the pressure? The storm is over, and you stand not only alive but stronger. The tools of your transformation are now in your hands. And the best part, you've learned that your discernment is not just a gift, it's a weapon. It's your map to navigate every storm, every trap, and every trial. They wrapped the knife in love, but it was always a sacrifice ritual. They didn't hug you to hold you, they hugged you to pin your arms down. Chosen one, that's the sick trick they played. They dressed it all up in words that disarm hearts. Love, loyalty, family, words you wanted to believe. Words that made you lower your guard, that made you think you were safe. But behind the soft tones, it was never love. It was preparation. It was grooming. It was a sacrifice disguised as care. Every concern was a leash. Every favor was a trap. Every "we're just looking out for you" was another rope around your neck. They wanted to bind you, chosen one, to make you small, to control your every move while pretending it was devotion. What they called loyalty was control. What they called family was a cage. And the knife they prepared wasn't steel, it was psychological. They weren't after your body, they were after your spirit. Piece by piece, they sought to drain your joy, your vision, your potential, leaving you empty, all while convincing you that it was love. Do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. Galatians 6-7. This verse reveals the true nature of their actions. What they sowed was deceit, and they were hoping to reap your energy, your spirit, your essence. But what they didn't realize was that your discernment was your shield, your divine weapon, and that shield would never fail. That's the ritual, chosen one. They wanted you to thank them while they bled you dry. But love without freedom is not love, it's bondage. And that's exactly what your discernment began to catch. At first, you couldn't explain it. You just felt it. You noticed how every act of help came with invisible strings attached. How every "I love you" demanded your silence, your compliance. How their loyalty was always conditional, tied to your shrinking, your willingness to sacrifice yourself for their comfort. Have you ever thought, chosen one, about the weight of a love that asks you to silence your truth? The kind of love that wraps chains in a soft embrace, telling you to be quiet, to shrink, to bow down. What would it feel like to wake up to the reality that this love was nothing but a lie, a tool to control you? Imagine a lamb being fattened, not to be celebrated, but to be sacrificed. That's exactly what they wanted you to be, chosen one. They wanted you to stand there, compliant, believing that their actions were acts of love and care. But you weren't blind. Something inside you refused. Your discernment started screaming, "This isn't protection, this is preparation." Is ever. And the moment you recognized the ritual for what it was, the game ended. You stopped mistaking a leash for love. You stopped giving your power away. You stopped being the offering. For God did not give us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. 2 Timothy 1-7. This verse is your truth, chosen one. You were never meant to live in fear, to allow yourself to be a sacrifice to someone else's control. You were given the gift of discernment to see beyond the illusion they created. What was it like, chosen one, when your discernment finally allowed you to see the trap for what it was? When you realized that every kind gesture was just a chain, every protective move was a cage, what did it feel like to break free from that? You see, the moment you broke free, the game was over for them. You shattered their illusion, and the knife that was raised over your spirit never landed. Your discernment, sharp, unshakable, cut through their masks first. They wanted you drained. They wanted to see you wither, questioning your worth, your strength, and your purpose. But instead, you walked away alive, wise, strong, untouchable. And now, they can't stomach it. Why? Because you weren't supposed to survive their ritual. You weren't supposed to rise above their manipulation and deceit. But you did. You did because you carried the gift of divine discernment, a supernatural awareness that allowed you to see through their lies, their masks, their traps. How many times, chosen one, have you been tested, pushed to the edge, but still stood firm in your truth? How many moments did you endure where the world expected you to collapse, but instead you stood as a testament to resilience, to the strength that comes from God's gift of discernment? This is your power. This is the proof of your divine purpose. And here's what they can't comprehend. Your survival wasn't luck. It wasn't a chance. It was a divine strategy rooted in the deep understanding that the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Psalm 23:1. You have been guided through every trial, every test, by a hand stronger than anything they could ever wield. And that's why you walked away alive, wiser, and more powerful than ever before. What will you do now, chosen one, now that you know your power? Now that you understand that their attempts to break you were the very things that forged you? The survival of the sacrifice ritual proves your strength, your purpose, and the indestructible power of your discernment. Your story is far from over. It's just beginning. And this time, you are the one in control. Your untainted spirit became their mirror, and they couldn't survive the reflection. They didn't hate you. They hated the way your existence exposed their rot. Chosen one, let's be real for a moment. The venom, the hostility, the blind rage they hurled at you, none of it was truly about you. It was about the mirror you held up without even trying. Your spirit was clean, your intentions unbent, your presence untwisted, and that alone became a reflection they could not bear to see. Imagine a room full of cracked mirrors. For years, they painted over the fractures, covered the rot with distractions, stacked mask after mask to hide their regrets and weaknesses. And then you walked in, polished, clear, unshaken, and suddenly all their decay stared back at them. For the Word of God is alive and active. Sharper than any double-edged sword, it penetrates even to divide soul and spirit, joints and marrow. It judges the thoughts and attitudes of the heart. Hebrews 4:12. This is the power of your truth, chosen one. Your very existence, your clarity cut through their illusions like a sword, leaving their carefully built facades in ruins. You weren't their enemy. You were their exposure. They weren't mad because you were wrong. They were mad because you were right. Your honesty made their lies look cheap. Your light made their shadows scream. You didn't have to accuse them. Your life, your presence, your truth spoke louder than words ever could. You stood as living proof of what they were too afraid to confront, their own darkness, their own decay, and that's why they lashed out at you. Their denial was at war with your truth. To them, breaking you felt like breaking the mirror. But here's the truth: mirrors don't vanish. When glass shatters, the reflection doesn't disappear. It stays. It lingers. For nothing is hidden that will not be disclosed, and nothing is concealed that will not be known or brought out into the open. Luke 8:17. Just as light exposes darkness, your presence exposes everything they tried to keep hidden. No matter how hard they tried to distort the truth, it remained. The reflection didn't disappear, it became more pronounced with every attempt to silence you. You've probably wondered, Chosen One, why does their hate feel so heavy? Why is it so irrational? It's because their rage wasn't logical. It wasn't about you at all. Their hatred wasn't because you did something wrong. It was because you did something they couldn't tolerate. You lived in your truth. You refused to hide or shrink away. Their hate came from their desperation to bury the shame you reflected back at them. They had spent years stacking layers to cover up their self-loathing, but in one moment you tore down every wall they'd built. Have you ever thought, Chosen One, about the strength it took for you to shine so brightly, even when it made others uncomfortable? Your light, your clarity, your ability to stand in your truth was something they couldn't fight directly. Instead, they tried to drag you into their shadows, hoping you would collapse under the weight of their lies and hatred, but you didn't. You refused to drown. You saw through their attempts to pull you under, and you stayed grounded. But the one who is in you is greater than the one who is in the world. 1 John 4:4. You were never alone in this battle. The strength that resides within you, the divine awareness that guides you, was always there to protect you from their poison. And that's what breaks them the most. You became the evidence they can't silence. You became the living proof of everything they'll never be. The reflection they tried to break, to distort, to bury, didn't disappear. It lives on, haunting them every time they remember you. Every time they remember that they failed to control you, to break your spirit, to make you doubt your worth. The righteous will never be uprooted, but the wicked will not remain in the land. Proverbs 12:3. This is your truth, Chosen One. You are rooted. You are unshakable. What do you feel now, Chosen One, when you reflect on how they tried to break you? When you think back on the battles, the lies, the manipulation they thought you would crumble under their pressure, but instead you stand tall, clearer, and stronger than ever before. Their hatred, their venom, has only solidified your place in this world. You are the living proof that truth always prevails. And here's the most powerful part. The enemy's attack on you, their venomous words and hate, have not only failed, they've become the fuel that propels you forward. Every time they tried to silence you, every time they tried to bury your light, you grew stronger. You became untouchable. You are the evidence that no weapon formed against you will ever prosper. Their attacks couldn't break you, they only made you shine brighter. And now, Chosen One, what will you do with this power? The truth they tried to bury is the very truth that sets you free. Their lies cannot touch you anymore because you've seen them for what they are. You've been refined in the fire of their hatred, and now nothing can extinguish the light you carry. You are the reflection they cannot escape, and that, Chosen One, is your greatest victory. What they called bullying was really the brutal right that marked you for power. They thought they were breaking you in front of the crowd, but what they didn't know was that they were crowning you in front of the universe. Chosen One, let's strip this down to the truth. What the world labeled as bullying wasn't bullying at all. It was initiation, a brutal rite of passage disguised as social rejection. What looked like humiliation was actually the beginning of your rise. Here's the paradox most people will never grasp. Every great ascent comes wrapped in shame first. The deeper the fall looks, the higher the climb that follows. You didn't stumble into this storm by accident. You were built for it. You were coded to endure it. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. James 1:2-3. This passage holds the key to understanding your journey, Chosen One. The trials you faced, the humiliation you endured, were not obstacles. They were the fire that refined you, the forge that shaped you into something more powerful than anyone could have imagined. And that's why they singled you out. The public mockery, the smirks, the staged rejection, it wasn't random cruelty. It was a separation. I have chosen you out of the world. John 15:19. Ordinary people are trained to blend in. They follow the herd, they play safe, and they melt into the background. But not you, chosen one. You were never shaped for that mold. You were forged in solitude, sculpted for the weight of leadership. And sometimes, the only way to mark someone as different, to set them apart, is through rejection so loud that the whole world hears it. Have you ever stopped to think, chosen one, about the weight of that rejection? It wasn't designed to break you, it was designed to elevate you. They thought they could erase you, silence your voice, but in the process they marked you with power. The scar they hoped would silence you became your seal, your symbol of endurance, your testament to the strength you've gained through their cruelty. The ritual they thought would shrink you didn't have that effect at all. Instead, it amplified you. You leaned on yourself in ways most people never learn to. You built clarity in the silence. You forged resilience in the rejection. You found a strength that only comes when every hand lets go and you're forced to stand on your own. You didn't break, you didn't shrink, you grew. And in that growth, you discovered something profound. But he said to me, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly of my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may rest upon me." 2 Corinthians 12:9. They wanted to erase you, chosen one, but in trying to tear you down, they crowned you. They didn't understand that humiliation can be an anointing, that rejection can be a signal, that the loneliness they threw you into was the very throne room they feared you'd reach. The stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. Psalm 118:22. What they thought was your undoing, your erasure, became the foundation of your power. Your strength doesn't come from the crowd's applause, chosen one. It comes from the fire of isolation, the wisdom of standing alone, and the clarity that emerges when you're forced to confront the truth of who you are. What did it feel like, chosen one, when you realized that your greatest strength was not in their acceptance, but in your own resilience? They tried to drag you down into their shadows, but you rose into the light, not because of them, but in spite of them. Their rejection became the very thing that propelled you forward. And now, as you stand, you are not just surviving, you are thriving. You are not just enduring, you are leading. And God raised us up with Christ and seated us with him in the heavenly realms in Christ Jesus. Ephesians 2-6. That throne you were meant to reach in isolation, that power you were meant to claim in solitude, has been given to you by divine grace. And now, chosen one, the world will see you as you truly are not the victim of their schemes, but the victor over them. The game they tried to play with you is over. You didn't just survive their attempts to destroy you, you rose above them, stronger, wiser, and more capable than ever. You are the living proof that rejection does not define you, it refines you. And now, no force on earth can ever make you shrink again. How will you step into your power now, chosen one, knowing that the rejection, the humiliation, and the cruelty were all part of your divine initiation? The world will try to label you, try to diminish your light, but you know better now. You know that you are made for more. You were born to stand out, to lead, to rise, and now it's your time. Stand tall, walk boldly. The throne you were crowned for is waiting. They branded you crazy because your sanity threatened their house of lies. They didn't call you crazy because you lost control. They called you crazy because you were the only sane one in a room built on delusion. Chosen one, that's the reality. The labels they threw, crazy, paranoid, emotional, delusional, were never reflections of you. They were weapons. Weapons designed to push you into the shadows while shielding their fragile illusions from exposure. They didn't brand you crazy because you were broken. They branded you crazy because your clarity terrified them. Your ability to see through the cracks in their masks, to see beyond the fake smiles and staged kindness, unsettled them. You refused to play along with their scripts, and that made you dangerous. For nothing is hidden that will not be disclosed, and nothing concealed that will not be made known or brought out into the open. Luke 8:17. Your discernment, your ability to spot the truth, was the light that shattered the darkness they tried to create, and that's why they couldn't stand you. So, they did the oldest trick in the book. They discredited the messenger to bury the message. When they called you emotional, it was because your feelings exposed their emptiness. When they called you paranoid, it was because you spotted their patterns too early. When they called you delusional, it was because your vision stretched further than their shallow cages. The Lord gives wisdom. From his mouth comes knowledge and understanding. Proverbs 2-6. This divine wisdom, your gift, allowed you to see things they couldn't even comprehend. Your clarity was a divine gift, a supernatural perception that cut through their fog of deception. Every insult they hurled was really a confession. They weren't describing you. They were revealing their fear of being exposed. Imagine a candle in a dark room. To the blind, it looks disruptive. To those hiding in shadows, it feels violent. That's what your sanity was, a flame that made their darkness impossible to ignore. You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Matthew 5:14. Your presence illuminated the truth, and that truth frightened them, chosen one. They couldn't bury it, they couldn't erase it. Your clarity became a beacon, and their lies were exposed to the light. And look at them now, chosen one, silent. Their silence isn't power. I panic. They know the truth has already cracked their foundation. They know your discernment has stripped away their camouflage. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Psalm 27:1. You stand in that light now, chosen one, and their darkness trembles before it. Their stillness isn't confidence. It's fear. Fear that your clarity will collapse the lies they've built their lives on. They wanted the world to believe you were unstable, but the truth is, your stability made their whole system tremble. Have you ever wondered, chosen one, why the more they tried to silence you, the stronger you became? Your clarity, your ability to stay grounded and unshaken in the face of their manipulation, became the very force that revealed their lies. They couldn't touch you because your foundation was built on something they couldn't corrupt, your divine awareness, your supernatural discernment. And that's why you remain untouchable, because every label they tried to chain you with turned out to be proof of your strength. Though the mountains be shaken and the hills be removed, yet my unfailing love for you will not be shaken. Isaiah 54:10. You were never the one who was unstable, they were. And the more they pushed against you, the more they exposed their own weaknesses. You weren't crazy, you were awake. And nothing terrifies liars more than someone who can see clearly. Your divine discernment didn't just expose their lies, it made you unstoppable. They couldn't break you because they didn't realize you were already free. You saw through their deception long before they ever expected. And that truth, that awareness, is the very thing that kept you grounded. What do you feel now, chosen one, knowing that your discernment and your clarity are the greatest gifts that no one can take from you? You've seen the game for what it is, and now you understand how powerful you truly are. You are the living proof that truth always prevails. They tried to bury you with labels, with lies, but instead they built your throne. Your strength, your clarity, your awareness are what make you untouchable. And nothing can ever take that from you. Now, chosen one, what will you do with this truth? The world tried to discredit you, to break you down, but now you stand stronger than ever, armed with the divine gift of discernment. The stage is set for you to rise. You are not just surviving anymore, you are thriving. The light they tried to extinguish in you has become the very fire that guides you to your destiny. Stand tall. Your time has come. They confused your silence for defeat until truth roared without a sound. They mocked your quiet, but they didn't know silence is the deadliest weapon in the room. Chosen one, they thought your calm meant surrender. They saw your restraint, your refusal to clap back, your decision not to flail in the mud with them, and they mistook it for weakness. They believed betrayal would break you, that mockery would rattle you, that pressure would finally force you to fold. What they never understood is this: restraint is not surrender. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Exodus 14:14. Your silence was not a sign of giving up. It was a strategic decision, an act of divine discernment. You didn't need fists or screaming matches. You didn't need to match their chaos with more chaos. Instead, you became an investigator in plain sight. Every fake smile, every contradiction, every slip in their story, it all went into your mental ledger. You weren't powerless. You were documenting their downfall. Silence isn't emptiness. It's a storm gathering its strength. The righteous cry out, and the Lord hears them. He delivers them from all their troubles. Psalm 34:17. While they scrambled to bury the truth, the facts you quietly collected kept rising like air bubbles underwater, slowly, steadily, and impossible to hide. That's the flaw in every liar's game. The truth doesn't need a microphone. It just needs time. And time was always on your side, chosen one. Imagine a courtroom, chosen one. The guilty shout, perform, and flail for attention. But the evidence doesn't shout. It just sits there quietly until it's undeniable. That's what your silence was. You didn't beg anyone to see. You didn't scream to be believed. You simply waited, knowing the truth would eventually surface. For the Lord is a God who knows, and by him deeds are weighed. 1 Samuel 2-3. You knew that divine justice would prevail, and with time, the truth would stand on its own. When it did, it wouldn't need your voice to defend it. And now it's happening. Through whispers they can't control, through cracks in conversations, through patterns too blatant to ignore, their lies are collapsing. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. John 8:32. The truth you silently allowed to grow is now breaking the walls of deceit they've built. You never had to force it. You didn't need to shout for attention or beg for justice. The truth, once gathered in silence, spoke louder than all their noise. Have you ever felt, chosen one, how powerfully your silence turned the tide? While they tried to shout you down, your quiet presence became a reminder of the truth they feared. You didn't need to react to every jab or accusation. You understood that the truth, just like light in the dark, shines brightest when you let it stand on its own. And the best part, chosen one, you never had to force it. The truth spoke without words, and it echoed louder than their entire circus of lies. They thought your silence meant you had lost, but in reality, silence was the proof that you had already won. Your restraint wasn't cowardice, it was wisdom, wisdom that turned their noise into evidence. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Proverbs 9:10. Your wisdom turned their chaos into the very foundation of your strength. Now, while their empire of lies crumbles, you stand untouchable, not because you screamed, but because you didn't need to. You stood in the truth, and the truth was what set you apart. What does it feel like now, chosen one, knowing that the very silence they thought would weaken you has instead fortified you? You've moved from merely surviving to thriving. Each whisper they tried to bury you with has turned into a victory song, and each lie they spread has revealed your unshakable foundation. Your silence, your discernment, your clarity, these are the weapons they never saw coming. You survived the ritual, and in doing so, you now hold the blueprint to break the program. Every humiliation, every setup, every whisper meant to crush you has become your evidence, your training, your power. You've learned how to turn every attack into a lesson, every insult into fuel, every trial into strength. And now, chosen one, you are not just surviving, you are ruling. What will you do with this power now, chosen one? The stage is set for you to rise. You've endured their schemes, survived their attacks, and emerged from the fire stronger than ever. The truth has been your ally, and now you walk forward, unshaken and untouchable. The world may still try to drown you in noise, but you will remain the quiet force that cannot be ignored. You are ready to step into your destiny. Stand tall. Congratulations, chosen one. You've stood firm through trials, weathering spiritual battles that not everyone could possibly understand. The challenges you faced were not by accident. Every wave that battered you, every blow life threw at you, has been a crucial turning point in your journey. You didn't just survive these challenges, you've risen, shining brighter than ever before. Remember, what you've been through is not a sign of weakness, but a testament to the strength and resilience God has given you. Every insult, every moment of rejection, every single moment of being misunderstood has built you up, preparing you for what's ahead. Your silence has never been a surrender, it's been a strategy. Through your calm, you have sharpened your discernment, and that discernment has been your weapon, your shield. When others tried to break you, you transformed those trials into a foundation for your growth. Your wisdom grew in solitude, your strength was forged through adversity, and now you stand taller, more powerful, and more connected to your divine purpose than ever before. You are a testament to the truth that when we stand firm in our faith and trust in God's plan, no weapon formed against us can ever prosper. Now, chosen one, your journey is just beginning. You're no longer just surviving, you are thriving. You've walked through the fire, and now you are shining like a beacon of light. The trials were not here to defeat you, but to prepare you for a higher calling. You were made to lead, to stand out, and to walk in the fullness of the divine purpose God has set before you. If this message has resonated with you, please take a moment to like, share, and comment. Your experiences, your journey, and your reflections can inspire others who need to hear your story. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another message that could help guide you on your path. If you feel moved to support the channel with a super thanks, know that your contribution is deeply appreciated, but whether you do or not, I'm truly grateful for your presence here. Finally, I pray blessings over you, chosen one. You are never alone in this journey. God's hand is always upon you, guiding you, protecting you, and empowering you to move forward. Continue to rise, continue to shine, and never forget that you are made for greatness. Walk in the confidence of your divine calling. You are a force that cannot be stopped. Stay strong, stay courageous, and remember nothing and no one can take away the power and truth you carry. Keep walking in faith, chosen one, for you are destined to change the world.